students?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible? Are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you not able to listen to me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You should tell that, no, if I am audible. I'm thinking our system is wrong. All unnecessary things I have done. When you hear me, you just respond. So yesterday we started reading skills. What is reading? Anyone remembers? Does anyone remember? What are we doing to reading? What are we doing to writing when we are reading something? We are giving some meaning to the written text. How are we doing it? By giving it some meaning to the written text. What are we doing in that process? We are trying to understand the writer, isn't it? We are trying to understand the writer. What context is he or she as a writer is trying to tell us, isn't it? Those are the four techniques that we went through. Main techniques of reading, how to read a text or how to read anything. Whenever you are reading something, when you are trying to give meaning to the written text, what are we doing that time? We are using some techniques to read. Different things need different techniques. A newspaper doesn't require full intensive reading, isn't it? So we are skimming through that. When we are scanning, we are wanting some specific information. We don't go through the whole provided text to find out what we are wanting, like finding a name in the directory, name directory, or finding a new word from the dictionary, like that. Then we do intensive reading. We do this for the name itself suggests that we are doing it intensively to find out the in-depth meaning of that text. Then extensive reading. What are we doing in extensive reading? We are trying to enjoy the text for the purpose of enjoyment, we are trying to read that. So how the text should be, we will not want a difficult text for that. So we will choose something that will amuse us. Yeah, are you able to see the slides? Say yes, no. Slides, are you
Yes,
able
ma'am.
to see? Yeah. So we did yesterday 4 types: intensive, extensive, skimming, scanning. Then we also went through some techniques that are used in different situations, like active reading, detailed reading, speed reading. The name itself will suggest you things like how an active reading should be. We have to be understanding why, what does it aim at. Active reading aims at the in-depth understanding of the text. The reader is actively involved in whatever he or she is reading in. In reading active, doing active reading. Remember, I told you about Dr. Adler Mortimer's way of structure proposition evaluation technique. How many of you remember that? Structure, proposition, evaluation. Nobody remembers? Yes, students? Please respond. I want the class to be interactive. Hello? Your exams have been postponed, right? So, getting in-depth knowledge on the text at hand is not possible by reading to skim through. Like if you read a textbook, like or a newspaper, you will not understand it in the way that you have to understand. You will go through that important aspects. So if you are what you read, you have to do reading, intensive and active reading. Understand? When you are doing in-depth reading, you are trying to learn something new of text. Whatever you are reading, you have to do in-depth and active reading. In the point of view, in preparation for your exams, you should do in-depth study, skim and the text for that. For learning for how to
Ma'am, your voice is not audible, ma'am.
well as intensity. Getting in knowledge. Okay, then we have this active reading, where it is a technique structure called by Dr. Adler. He has written this how to read a book. In that he has and said the profession knowledge is best when you are reading for rights for examination. The structure of work is how has been profession and then we carry less of its the then we have the detailed reading. This technique is used for extracting information accurately from the whole. We every word meaning of that. We can skim the text first, like go to read it in detail. We can use a dictionary to find the meanings of unfamiliar words here, and try to understand whatever it is, whether the book is different. Some textbooks are also not very interesting to read, but we have to, for the sake of writing the English, and I'm not familiar with the words, and if we are no understanding what it is, to always go to the refer to the dictionary. Then speed reading. I told you that the word is telling you something about way it is, without compromising on understanding of the text. Words are not pronounced properly. When you understand what logical aspects, when one understands the words according to the understanding. Some people understand it very fast, some understand it very slow. So we talked about this in the barriers of communication also, barriers of listening. It's how some people are understanding per word, per minute they have some 20 words, 30 words. Some people can understand some 80 to 90 words. So their level of understanding, how they are able to understand, this will help them in reading, speed reading, without compromising the understanding of the text reading. This strategy is used in speed reading are identifying words without focusing on each letter. Like if we see read, for example, when you see something is following it, we will know that it is reading only. That's how we are not focusing on each letter of the word, but we are just focusing on the word, identifying the whole word, focusing on without focusing on the each letter. Then we are not to sound out all words. Sometimes we eat away some of the words in the speed reading, but we are not compromising on the understanding of the word. Then we have sub-vocalizing, so some zones. In that, we vocalize some of them, maybe sometimes in the middle words, middle letters we will leave, and then we'll catch up with the ending words. Then spending less time on some phrases than others, because we know what one follows one after the other. So we will not be spending too much of time on the phrases that we already know. This is the method of speed reading. This is also done before the examination. This will also help in reading. If you have already understood the concept and you have to just go through the text to understand it in a better manner, you do speed reading also. Then skimming small sections. Okay, reading is the basic foundation on which our academic skills are built, isn't it? You will say before examination, some people who write well, they say, I read well, isn't it? All of you tell that before the examination. If someone asks, how is your preparation? They say, okay, we have done, I read it nicely. I read whatever I could. Some say I didn't read it properly. That means the preparation is not there. The academic skill is not fully utilized, isn't it? Then reading text more effectively. Reading is the basic foundation, as I told you, in which your academic skills are built. Uh, Reading is true measure of a person. Sharing has stopped.
Yes, ma'am.
Internet is very, very slow.
Your voice is also not clear, ma'am, sometimes.
Yeah, that's what it is, very slow. Wait a minute. Can you see now?
Yes, ma'am.
So reading the text, reading text effectively. Sometimes some people find it very difficult to read a textbook. Sometimes they feel very happy with the amount of information that they are getting. Some people have a hard time focusing or figuring out what is important. Sometimes textbooks can be tedious and difficult, but they contain many features designed to help you learn. This way of how to read a text more effectively will help you understand or help you learn the technique for a better understanding of your textbooks. This effective reading strategies will ensure that you truly understand, comprehend the course material. Understanding or comprehending the course material. And how we come and perform better on class assignments and also in exams. So how textbooks are unique? They contain numerous features that don't always encounter, that we don't in encounter in novels or any other type of. The we always send a previous chapter or a second chapter so that you get an idea in that section. That is why we have the preface to each book. Whenever we are reading something, some new textbook, we should not first jump into the first chapter. We should read a part of the preface and background. We will make some understanding of when this thing happened or what is it this picture or what is this topic is going to tell us about. We'll have a vague idea, a little idea about what is the text that is we are going to read will give us. This will help you have a better purpose and focus going into the reading, and this will also help you to pull out the important ideas more easily. When we are reading a text, this if you are reading a preview or a chapter or a section of the chapter that is given there, mostly if you are reading a novel, for example, you go back to the last page and find out what it is all about, isn't it? Is it going to talk about uh, a mystery story, a murder mystery? Is it a suspense story? Is it a tragic story? Is it a love story? Is whether it is a love triangle? What is it? Is it an epic? Or is it a drama? Or is it a play? What it is? Different genres are there where we find. So it is better to understand the text, what you are reading, before starting to read the text properly. Okay, so you must have a approach to that. Then we'll use the active reading strategies. Many students approach reading textbook by opening up the book and starting with the first sentence in the chapter. Then they'll be typically falling into the use of two categories: those who painstakingly read each word and copy pages of notes for hours, and those who casually skim over the words and flip the pages. Though very different, both approaches are passive in that they don't involve active critical thought. What happens is the reader becomes a copying machine. In the same moment, or he is skimming through the text, this consuming, but it will not include active engagement with them. You are not reading the whole thing. Another one, what is the first one doing is any other looking here, and the person is going on reading the text without, I mean, having any painstakingly copying the words and notes for hours. Then another one, what does the another one do is they are just skimming through. So they are not completely in contact with the book. They are not understanding uh, the comprehension, or they are not actively engaged with the text. The neither approach leads to a high level of comprehension or retention of what you read. So both these methods, if one is whole time reading but not using the right approach, and the other one who is just skimming through the text, both are not doing the right work to understand the text. Instead of that, research shows that active reading strategies lead to comprehension and retention. Comprehension is understanding the text. Understand the text. And retention. When do you retain the information? When you like it, or when you understand what it is. Those things that you don't understand, you tend to forget in a very short period of time. And this will help students perform better strategies before you read. So what you do, you preview. Look through the text feature in the chapters, headings, titles, graphs, bold words, etc. You preview to gain clues about the main concept and important elements of the chapter. Pay more special attention to these features when previewing your textbook. What do you see? Title of the text, headings and subtitles, illustrations, graphs, charts, visuals, vocabulary list, glossaries, end of the chapter summaries, and then introductions, review questions and practice and special interest boxes, and also notes in margins, and then some bold words also. So what are the things that you have to see in a textbook? When you are previewing a textbook, you are using the strategies. These strategies are the ones that you should follow for a better understanding of the text that you are reading. What are the titles, headings, and also subtitles? What are the titles? Title of the books, what is the heading of the book, and what are the subtitles that are given? Then we have illustrations, graphs, charts, any visuals. If any photograph or any picture that is given, painting is given, you will see that. Vocabulary list, how it is going to be, very difficult vocabulary or easy vocabulary. If you go through the vocabulary in the beginning itself, you will understand the meaning, and when that word comes when you are reading, you will be ready with the meaning. Then glossaries also. End of the chapter summaries. You will know as to the text that you are going to read now has been spread on these lines. Okay. Then footnotes are there.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.